Good morning, everyone. And pleasure to be here, and thanks, HEDNA, for the opportunity to talk to you. And I will talk about meta search, which is a kind of buzzword. There is a new but old trend. And I will do so because I've been working in the direct channel for 20 years already. And starting 8 years ago, we bet strongly on meta search as a platform, as a tool to boost direct bookings. And we've been watching the trend over time, and we can make a summary today, and most importantly, to talk about what's next in our view, where meta search is going, right? So to start, this meta search, why you shouldn't ignore the growth in meta. And this is a reality, even though this is a kind of old study, but meta search is already a gatekeeper. This is not something that will happen. It has already happened. So easily 50% of the population of the internet users use meta search before booking a hotel, right? And this trend is growing, especially in millennials and business travelers, right? So this is something that is going on and is not the future. Another piece of data is meta search is overcoming traditional ads. We are working with lots of hotels, and we are seeing a shift in the budgets from the traditional brand ads to meta search. That doesn't mean that ads are not growing. What it means is that meta search is growing much faster than ads, the investment, right? So we started measuring in 2014, and the last piece of data is 2019, and the growth has been very, very strong, right? The reason why is because investment in meta search is growing at a much faster pace than in traditional ads. So ads is kind of flat. I'm always talking about brand marketing. I'm not talking about generic marketing, just Google Ads with your brand, right? So meta search is growing. Look at the rate. It's really, really growing very fast. And this is not just random growth. And this is because Google is giving a lot of visibility to its meta search, right? This is a traditional result page. And you see on the top the traditional Google Ads, on the right the Google Hotel Ads. But now you see like a price graph, which is an entry point for Google Hotel Ads platform. And this is driving a lot of traffic from ads to Google Hotel Ads. And this is, in the end, why Google merged last year the two platforms. Now Google Hotel Ads merged with Google Ads. Because from a product perspective, it was the same. They both were competing for the same users, right? But it's the reason why Google Hotel Ads has grown so much, right? Among the different meta search players, it's been let's say a oligopoly, and there is no room for 7 different meta search players. The same reason as there is no room for 7 different OTAs globally, because the amount that is needed, the investment is so huge. There is only a battle for 2-3 players the most. At the same time, Booking and Expedia, both OTAs are the biggest. In the meta search ecosystem, Google is winning, clearly winning. So last year, we measured 67% of market share in investment in meta search. So it's huge growth, and it still is growing. So this trend is going to continue. So it's a huge opportunity for hotels. In meta search, direct channel can be listed and can compete head-to-head with OTAs. And this morning, we saw in the opening keynote by Jan that the RevPAR is going to be flat, or pretty much flat. And I wondered why we are so obsessed about the RevPAR, because the important piece of data is the net RevPAR. So for that RevPAR, we have to remove the cost. And if we can grow the net RevPAR this coming years, even though the RevPAR is going down, because we are optimizing our cost of acquisition, right? Our distribution cost. And we can do that selling more direct, and meta search is a very good tool. So it's a huge opportunity, but what cost? There is a lot of debate if meta search are worth it. A lot of hotels are investing in meta search, but the ROIs are not that good. So are they worth it? How about their cost? Will they increase? They've been increasing over time, the same rate that the Google ads increase at first, because this is an auction, and all the OTAs are bidding. All the OTAs, but by the way, have a contract with you. So you are bidding directly and indirectly in Google Hotel Ads and in Trivago and TripAdvisor, right? Who owns meta search? And Google, of course, is owned by Google, but TripAdvisor is a standalone business. Trivago is owned by Expedia and Kayak, and all the many companies are owned by Booking, right? So we're dealing with kind of the same players with a different name. Is meta search a marketing or a distribution cost? There is an interesting debate. And from a hotel perspective, it is a significant difference because marketing budgets are usually limited and distribution costs are usually unlimited. So I'm happy to pay as much as possible as long as I get the revenue, right? But the marketing is usually limited. And to me, the most important question is, are we ready to play in meta search? Do we have the knowledge to do it? Because I don't think the hotel industry does. But that's an unanswered question. This is a debate. So what's next in meta search? This is the classical lifetime value of the client when booking a room, like dreaming, planning, booking, experiencing, sharing. Nothing new. Where is meta search? Why meta search? What is the part of what meta search focuses the most? Right, in planning, right? Before you make a booking, you plan and compare different hotels, different prices. Let's see, because meta search doesn't want to be only in the planning part of this cycle. They want to go to dreaming. Especially Google Hotel Ads, which is the winning meta search. We're used to seeing hotel ads in search. We're used to seeing in Google Maps, which is very, very convenient from a user perspective, by the way. And now we have Google Travel. And I don't know if you have used it, but we have a specific URL to search for travel in general. And Google calls this Google Hotel Search Experience, which is a kind of weird name, but this is the way they call it. In Google Travel, this is some screenshots. You find trips. This is the latest trip I kind of searched. Las Vegas, Hollywood, Playa del Carmen, Cancun, Barcelona, Atlanta. So they're helping me dream about my next trip. To explore, so where should I love to go? Yosemite National Park, for instance. So Google is helping me find the best place to go, vacation, corporate, or whatever. So it's absolutely a dreaming stage. Search hotels is not only a meta search player, it is becoming an entry point to search hotels. And tied to when in the previous session was commented that they include vacational resorts. So they have a checkbox to include alternative lodgings. In fact, Google has a different API for integration partners for vacational resorts, where Airbnb is plugged, where Booking is plugged, and where this, I don't know the name, sorry, HomeAway platform is plugged to, right? So search hotels. In the planning section, meta search is still improving a lot, substantially, and this is the part I like the most. They have filters, nothing new, nothing very new. OTAs have filters. Filters is TripAdvisor, this is Trivago, nothing new, but they didn't, and now they do. So it's very convenient from a user perspective. But these are the next features that OTAs don't have, and they are very, very useful. Transparency. I just moved to the US to live, and I'm still impressed that nothing costs what it says it costs. And I don't know how you can live with it, because it's very difficult to understand what I'm going to pay at the end. I was going to buy a car for $29,000. I ended up paying $36,000. Like an endless list of fees and taxes and adding. very complicated. I come from Europe, and Europe is mandatory by law to show a final price, even with this cleaning fee, resort fee, or whatever you call it. This is a screenshot in Google Hotel Ads, and this is not Hilton's fault. Hilton announces in Google Hotel Ads $325, but when you are going to book, it costs 26% more. I love the mandatory charge wording. It is like, I don't know what it includes, but for sure it is mandatory. And to me, it doesn't make any sense at all. But it is the way it is. But Google launched recently a feature I love, and I constantly use here in the States when traveling, which is an option to see nightly price, nightly total, and stay total, including all fees, including resort fee. And if you find a channel that is not including the resort fee, you can complain, and Google will kick them out because they want to add transparency to results. And this is a very visual benchmark, right, of the three views: nightly price, nightly total, stay total. The only number that is important to me is the 314. This is the only number I care about. And the rest of the numbers, to be honest, I don't care. And I don't care if it's a cleaning fee, or if it's a resort fee, or it's a room fee. I don't care. As a consumer, I don't care. And Google knows, and I love it. This is the only player that I've seen this new feature. Price alerts. I love price alerts. I remember when I first signed up in Booking and in Expedia, and I got my first emails a long time ago, I don't remember when, that the hotel had dropped the price. And I love it because I could constantly rebook. And from a consumer perspective, it's the feature I was expecting, but they discontinued it because all the hotels complain because they have a contract with the OTAs. But Google is a different story. Google cares only about the consumer and tells me that my flight from Miami to Los Angeles, I was stupid because I bought it very expensive. And I thought that airlines never decrease the price, but I know that they do. And next time maybe I will wait. Fortunately, in my other flight to Cancun, I bought it at the right price because the price increased. And then a few days later, I got another increase in the flight. So I was super happy because I had bought very cheap. If you combine price alerts with price insights, you have a perfect combination because Google tells you in advance if that rate is a good rate, if it's low, if it's average, if it's too expensive. So if you know that you're buying that this is very expensive, you can wait and use the price alerts to check if the price decreases. So these two features are only available for Google because Booking.com and Expedia cannot implement them because hotels don't like it. And you are a hotel, and you will not like it as a hotel. But as a consumer, you will love it. Google has it for flights and hotels, especially the insights, not the price alerts, but they will, for sure, because it makes a lot of sense. Especially because in flights, you cannot cancel, but in hotels, you can, many times. So once they implement it, all of you, when you are consumers, will use it. But you will, all your clients, not to use it, but they will. And attribute selling, this is like a buzzword and trendy word that 2019 that goes to 2020. And I think there's a session later on about ABS, and I'm very skeptical about hotels implementing ABS. And the reasons why, I mean, for those who don't know, it's like selling the basic, like an airline. You have a seat, and everything costs you a lot of money. The ale, the window, the food, probably very soon the water, or the air, or whatever, the seat belts. In a hotel, you buy a standard room, ocean view, king-size bed, suite upgrade, Nespresso, early booking, refundable, final price. This is ABS. And I'm very skeptical because of two reasons. I don't want to deep dive on this, but two reasons. There is a hyper-fragmentation in the hotel industry, especially outside the States, right? And the hotel product is much more complicated than the airline. So it's the length of stay, occupancy, kids, boards, and lots of features in the room or in the rates. So I think it's very complicated for hotels to change their mindset because the PMS, channel manager, CRS, are not ready. And I don't think they will. What I think, though, is, for instance, all the Trivago, TripAdvisor, MetaSearch are asking us, that we are integration partner. They are asking all the attributes for the rooms and all the attributes for the rates. So they want to know that what all the features and facilities each room includes. And that means coffee machine, tea machine, extra pillows, king-size bed, view to the city, view to the ocean. They want to know for each room that we connect to their system, more than 400 different attributes. This information was not asked before. And so eventually be ready to see in Google lots of new filters for the size of the bed, the view. So they will emulate the ABS, but without changing the heart of their hotels. So this is my view that this is going to happen. But not because the hotels will change it, because the OTAs and MetaSearch will adapt, right? In the booking phase, we have the facilitated bookings. Nothing new. I don't know if you remember the book on TripAdvisor, the instant booking. That is still available, by the way, for many hotels, but it's kind of standby. Trivago Express Booking, book on Google. It is funny because Kayak was the first one to launch facilitated bookings a long time ago. The rationale behind facilitated bookings by MetaSearch is they reduce friction. That means you can make a booking in Google directly without jumping to the hotel website. It provides a seamless experience, which is true, especially mobile. As a consequence, the conversion is better. As a consequence, the ROI is better. This is the rationale. But hotels don't like it very much. Why? Because there are some concerns. The first one, who owns the customers? If I book in Google or in Trivago, who owns the customer? The hotel or the MetaSearch? Clients become loyal to the channel or to the hotel? There's another question. How many hotels upsell or cross-sell their services or their product? It is difficult. But what is for sure is that Google is pushing book on Google, and you have to understand how it works and fight these concerns. What's next? We have voice bookings. This is a Focusrite graph about the adoption of voice. And the smart speaker, which is Alexa and Google Home devices, is growing exponentially. I have Google Home at home. To be honest, I don't use it that much, but my kids constantly use it. They talk to him a lot to play songs, to ask stupid questions, to do their homework. So voice is here to stay, right? The question is, who are the players in voice? For sure, Amazon is a huge player. They have Alexa. And I love the comments in the morning session about Amazon coming back to the travel industry that I completely agree. But the reason why is that they are the gatekeepers in the voice search. And I think they will come back and they will enter the juicy and very huge piece of cake that is travel. And I don't think they will develop a technology. I think they will buy one of the biggest players. And their entry will be like from one day to another. I think they will buy, I don't know, like Expedia or something like that. I don't think they will buy Booking because it's too big. But for Amazon, Expedia is not that big. And it will be a master move for Expedia. Because they control the voice, they will have the technology, they will have the meta search, which is Trivago. Of course, this is absolutely my guess. but I think they will. And it would be a very smart move. And of course, we will have Google with their Google Home and with their Google Assistant that already offers the technology to make voice booking. So this is not a technology problem. Technology is there. You can make a booking through Google Assistant. The thing is that the user, the consumer, is not there yet. But this is not a technology problem. Because many times when I show the technology that we implemented to make bookings with the voice, many of my clients, my friends, tell me, but this is a demo, right? No, this is not a demo at all. This is really exists. Oh my gosh, so it's like, this is happening, right? So just to conclude, my opinion that the right approach to meta search is the following for the hotels, right? Try everything by yourself. Don't make decisions based on what others tell, say, or have tested. So try by yourself. Keep informed, understand what's new, because meta search is changing every month, every 6 months, every year. Changes a lot. Differentiate your direct channel. Stop this parity in inventory and pricing and restrictions. That is not a good decision. Find the right partners. Don't think meta search has been commoditized. It hasn't. There are huge differences between meta search players, meta search integrators. So find the right one. If you are to play with facilitated bookings, you need to build a relationship with the client, because otherwise they will go back to Google to book, not to your hotel. So you need to create a relationship with the customer. And finally, be resilient and be positive, because this is just the beginning. This is about to change completely. In 5 years, in 10 years, everything will be different. And you will be in the hotel. So be ready to be resilient, because otherwise it will be exhausting. So thank you very much.
Much, Pablo. So we have a few questions before we break for lunch. So first, how is search on Meta going to be impacted by personalized pricing? We've been talking a lot about personalized pricing.
Yeah, sure. And I think all meta search players are working on personalizing, like pricing one-to-one. If you belong to, let's say, a club or you have a membership, or you are in an audience created in Google Analytics or Google Ads, the technology is there already to differentiate the pricing. Let's say for user A, B, or C, one can see 100, 90, and 80. So technology is there. You just need to find the right partner, and of course, have the groups of people to show different prices to. Many hotels want to show different prices, but they don't have the database or the members behind. But the technology is there. So it's just a matter of finding the right partner. And of course, Google has a huge advantage because they have audiences, and they can connect Google Analytics ads and Google Hotel ads. But this is a problem solved.
Great. Next question, and you touched on this just a little bit. So how will Book on Google disrupt the Meta model? Does it erode Meta brand value when the consumer is unaware of a true booking channel?
That is a very good question. But Google, in the case of Google, because the facilitated booking changes from Meta to Meta, in the case of Google, you know at all the times what channel are you booking with. So you are booking with Google, with, let's say, Hilton, or let's say with Expedia. Expedia and Google, I don't think they are playing Book on Google, because it erodes their brand, which makes a lot of sense. Booking wants, or Expedia wants, users to go to their websites. But Google tells you you're booking in the Hilton or in the Lowe's hotel with help of Google or something like that. So the brand is there, but I completely agree that the value of the brand is much lower. So it's a trade-off. If it increases conversion, probably the ROI will be much better. But in the long run, this losing your brand, what's the impact? So it's a trade-off. You can have both, for sure.
thank you. So next, I'm going to ask this question is, how will AI, or what role will AI play in the Meta business?
Well, there are lots of companies working with AI and Meta. These are companies are usually companies that optimize the bidding based on AI behavior of the user. So they access lots of information that you can buy or they can measure on. They can plug different pixels in your website to monitor. And they plug like a system to optimize the pricing and the bidding. So you as a hotel can play with both. Bid more, bid less, or offer a high price or lower price, depending on all this data. So AI will have an impact. There are just a few companies that do so, but I think it's the future for sure.
Excellent. And I think we have time for one more question here. So as we heard from Jan this morning, what happens when and if Amazon gets into travel like predicted?
I completely agree with him. So I think hotels will have an opportunity and a threat at the same time. And I like to see the opportunity more than the threat. But Amazon is one of the biggest companies on earth. And travel is one of the biggest industries. So it will be for sure. So you have to learn how to play with it and take the best. I don't think you have another option. So you will have to learn and change because it will be completely different, especially with voice.
Right. So we can't stick our heads in the sand is what you're telling me. Right.
Correct.
Great. Wonderful. Well, that's all the questions we have for right now, or the time that we have. There were some more questions that were out there, so if you want to track Pablo down at lunch. We are on lunch break now until 1:30. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you.